lot of buyers, especially young buyers, first-time buyers, nervous. They have a lot of questions. It's a big process for them, and it really calms them down and makes this really a seamless transaction.
Be able to just go online and see where everything is in the process. I know at any point in time what needs to be done, who's doing it, and if they need any assistance from myself.
The best thing about them is that I can keep in touch with them, get constant feedback. They're both on top of their deals, and it's much less frustrating than making a bunch of phone calls to a banker I don't know.
I introduce the buyers and the sellers right from day one because I'm using it as a competitive advantage, and I need to show them what that advantage is.
I do a pre-buyers meeting early before we go out and look at any houses.
I'll ask them to at least give our company a try if they already have a mortgage company. I'll say at least, see if they can offer you something, or even better. And most times, especially Omar in our office, has been very successful with doing that.
At the time of signing the agreement of sale, I like to personally introduce them. They like that personal touch, that they know who they're talking to. It's not just another person over the phone.
I really start off with the lending, which has been phenomenal for me.
I explain how they're right down the hall. If I have a problem, I walk in the door, I see them, they're right accessible. I'm not getting voicemails and nobody calling back.
We can stumble along with all these outside brokers who are running these small mortgage businesses and title companies who we hardly even know anymore. But here we have everything is cataloged from the day you write the sales agreement, and that's really, really important. And they help you follow that sale up so you can continue to do business with that sale and other sales.
Control of the transaction really is everything. We really need to stay on top of it every step of the way, and through the Premier services and being in-house, that we can all communicate and follow this very closely is just tremendous in the transaction.
I really believe that when you deal with Premier, it just takes all the weight off your back.
It's extremely important to have someone that I can trust. Someone that I can trust that not only gets the answers to my clients, but communicates with them.
I want to make sure that my client's deal gets done. We get to closing is the bottom line.
The most important thing that they have to do is to put the sale together and get it to the settlement table and have everybody happy. It's not a matter of just putting the sale together. It's developing a relationship with them, because someday they're going to want to sell a house, or maybe that seller wants to buy a house. You have to be able to continue, hopefully, to do business with them, and that's very, very important.
When it's not in-house, I get a little nervous. It's a little nerve-wracking because you don't know. Most of the time I don't know these other people.
Anytime that you have a situation where you can use the agent, the title, and the mortgage and feel comfortable with all three of those components, you're always going to have a better transaction.
The biggest thing is that it's seamless, that we keep everything under control because we're all working together to get to that settlement table.
The in-house companies are instrumental in making the transitions flow as smooth as possible.
Being involved in other transactions where with other agents that are using outside sources, this is just wonderful because they are so available. It's really amazing is the word.
A new client comes in, we get a pre-approval right away. Like I said, we start from the beginning. We get instantly response that day.
I get them on the phone all times of the day, and unfortunately sometimes even all times of night, to get transactions completed.
The big thing to me, they're not 8 to 5 people. You can call them anytime, they'll get back to you. I mean, it's weekends, and you just don't get that service with anybody else.
I tell my clients all the time, I said, listen, I'm going to give her name, number, give her a call. She may not answer, but within 15 minutes to an hour, she'll get back to you. And I always get the answer, holy cow, Ken, you were right. She called me back like in a half an hour.
I always get a little concerned when I get emails back from Steve at 2 in the morning. I'll get one at 4 in the morning, and I think he says he sleeps in between those 2 times. But he's 100% accessible.
You try calling some of our competition brokerage, and especially a mortgage company or title company, after hours, I think it's the strongest point of dealing with Premier is that the accessibility after hours.
I've had a client who has had difficulty moving forward with a loan, and we've gone over to Premier Mortgage in the 11th hour, and it's worked out very, very well.
I had one last year that the property did not appraise, and we've been running into that a lot lately. But the property came in under, and my lender was actually able to offer a broker's credit, which at the time I had never heard of prior. And by her being able to do that, got us to the table, made everybody happy, and got us closed.
The buyer had their own insurance company, and they were struggling in the last hour to try to get insurance. They said they couldn't have insurance. I called our insurance rep again 7, 8 o'clock at night. She talked them through the deal. She met with them the first thing the next morning.
I can think of 2 transactions in particular that we would have never closed on if I didn't have Premier Mortgage working with me.
I can go on and on about how many deals they've saved, so it's been great.